Hey, good afternoon and good morning, everybody. Captain Duban here with my good friend, Captain Teeny, right across the street from Oregon State University. What happens is the Marine Corps gives us officer selection officers opportunities to go visit different stations, learn from each other in order to deliver a better product to you, the up-and-coming officer candidate / second lieutenant. Again, here in beautiful Oregon, went on a good PT run yesterday. Learned some stuff from Camp Teeny and vice versa. But again, I wanted to take this opportunity for him to kind of answer some questions or kind of give his experience in the Marine Corps and what he does now. Infantry officer by trade, officer selection officer representing the entire state of Oregon to include Alaska. But he's going to talk about some of that. But again, my good friend Camp Teeny to share some knowledge with you guys.
All right, so when I was in high school, I was never the strongest. I was never the fastest. I played sports. I loved competing with my teammates and against the other schools, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I first walked into a recruiting station. I was going to enlist in the Marine Corps. At the same time, though, I had an application to go to the United States Naval Academy. I was fortunate enough to be selected, and I attended there for 4 years, and I had the option to go Navy or Marine Corps. My entire life I've wanted to serve. I didn't know if I wanted to go Navy or Marine Corps up until my last year, and the reason I chose Marine Corps was for one reason and one reason only. I had a staff sergeant talk to us about leadership, about what it means to be in front of other Marines and serve with Marines. He convinced me to make one of the biggest and the best decisions of my entire life. And that was when I chose to be a Marine Select, and I went through all of the training that the Naval Academy had to offer over in Quantico, Virginia as well, similar to how you guys go through OCS. And I look back on it with incredible fondness and how lucky I was that I was selected to go into the Marine Corps and go through that training program. What that has taught me, though, is what it means to be a selfless leader. And that is literally putting yourself at the very end. On every single one of my notebooks, the first page, it says, "It is not about me." If you're joining the Marine Corps and you're doing something for yourself, because you're trying to better yourself one way or another, I would say, hey, go look at a different branch. Go somewhere else, because the Marine Corps prides itself on their selfless leadership, and that is what I've taken out of it the most. Every day I wake up knowing that I am there to do my job, so that I have a Lance Corporal, a Private First Class, a young 18-year-old kid that's going to look up to me and be like, hey, what are we doing today, sir? And that's what motivates me through the day, and that's what I've learned from the Marine Corps, is basically putting yourself last. There's that common saying of leaders eat last, and you take that and you run with it. Because guess what? What you're training for right now, the PT sessions you do every day, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it so that when you go up there and stand in front of Marines, that they will be proud of you, that they will be proud to call you their lieutenant, that you have this in the back of your mind, and that's your goal of like, hey, I want to lead Marines because I want that 18-year-old kid to stand there next to you and be like, hey, sir, like, hey, what do you need me to do? Everything you do right now and everything I've done in my entire career had led me to basically to the point where I could stand in front of Marines and know that I had done everything I could to prepare myself for them and to prepare ourselves for whatever mission set I had that I was given. I was fortunate to be selected out of TBS for infantry. I went to infantry officers course afterwards, then I took a platoon as soon as I went through. I'll tell you right now, one of the hardest decisions I had to make was what I wanted my MOS to be. I came into the Marine Corps thinking I wanted to be a combat engineer because that's what my staff sergeant that convinced me that I needed to go in the Marine Corps, he was a combat engineer. And so I thought that's what I should do. And I put that all the way up until the very end when my captain that was kind of mentoring me in TBS, he sat me down and he was like, hey Teeny, you need to go in the infantry. And I was like, well, why is that, sir? And he's like, your attitude and everything else gears you towards the infantry. And I was like, okay. And I couldn't have been happier with it. I think if I would have been a comm engineer, it wouldn't have mattered. If I would have been a logistics officer, it wouldn't matter. Because I knew from the very beginning, the reason why I joined the Marine Corps was to lead Marines. And you're gonna be doing that in whatever you do. I can only speak to the infantry side. So after TBS, you go to IOC, 3 months long. It is a real punch to the gut. It is one of the hardest things that I have ever done. The first day is an all-day evolution where you're kind of getting crushed. But after those 3 months, there's been nothing I've been more proud of. I'm proud to be a Marine, and I'm proud to be an infantry officer. Checking in your first unit, 23 years old. I got 40 Marines basically standing in platoon formation looking at me, and I give a brief introduction. My staff sergeant's right there next to me. My staff sergeant's 32 years old, Staff Sergeant Cecil, now Gunnery Sergeant Cecil. He, after I give my introduction, he turns to me and he's like, all right, sir, so what are we doing now? And I look at him, I look back to my 40 Marines now standing in front of me, and my stomach drops. I freeze up for a second, but I went back to the training that I did all the way coming up to here, and we PT'd. We went out there and did a little fartlek, similar to the fartleks you guys are doing right now. And we did that, came back and made a game plan. And so what it's like to be an infantry officer, what you can expect is that you are going to have a platoon somewhere between 30 and 40 Marines that are going to be called your own, that you will be their platoon commander. And they're going to look up to you, and you're going to basically create a training plan. So you're like, hey, what do we want to do today? Do we want to do tactics? What kind of PT do we want to do? What other information or knowledge can you pass as the officer to these young junior Marines? And any sort of leadership or mentorship that you can give some of these junior Marines that are going to be in your platoon, that's what you'll be doing. And I'll be honest, when you're not doing little tactics or anything else like that, I was in the field shooting guns and blowing stuff up. It was an awesome time. Highly recommended. Everyone's a little biased, but I will say infantry officers are the best officers, but I'm clearly a little biased. I am currently the officer selection officer for the entire state of Oregon, Southwest Washington, and Alaska. I cover all the schools from Oregon State University, right across the street from me, down to Southern Oregon University and University of Oregon in Eugene, Ducks. And then all the way up to Alaska, University of Alaska Fairbanks, as far north as you can go in the US. That's the area that I cover, and anyone out there, please feel free to reach out.